Hi there. This is Dr. Eve Ruiz, owner of SpiritSpeaks MD YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining me on my latest episode of Energetically Engaging with Narcissism. I have been doing so many episodes about when you are with a romantic partner or other loved one who shows narcissistic behavior. I have been receiving comments and questions from ladies who are experiencing narcissism as adults from their parents. And this situation, of course, did not start in their adulthood. It started long before them. So I'm giving a shout out to all of you people out there who have experienced selfish, narcissistic mothers and or fathers. The ones who may have been doubly blessed to have had it with both parents, or triply blessed to even have it with a sibling on top of all that. First of all, kudos to you for your survival. There is more to life than that. And I'm here to help you see that. If you are interested, by the way, in my Disengaging from Narcissism program, simply text me at 949-424-4494 with the word in all caps, yes, exclamation point. You are ready for more. You're ready for a better life. You're ready for a better way of doing things, even better than what you've already developed, so that you can get to that pinnacle of success in other areas of your life. That pinnacle that may have been elusive to you because of the ways that you are perseverating in, that you had learned when you were younger, but haven't rewired since. Do you recognize these kinds of experiences as an adult? You had been a star child, being rewarded for your complicitness, being rewarded for being the peacemaker, for taking over as a little adult when you were young, doing things for your parents that they might not want to take care of for themselves. Were you a buffer between your parents and other siblings, just to make sure that there was less chaos in your household? So that when you grew up, because you had been rewarded so much for following along with what other people say without thinking, without having a mind of your own, did you find it particularly challenging or difficult when you were laden with responsibilities at work, in your training? If you have found that some parts of being an adult have been particularly difficult, like standing up for your needs, to get that raise, that promotion, or to simply get whatever you desire, to be able to effectively persuade someone that what your needs are valid. If you've had trouble with believing in your gut hunches, in what you think would be the right solution for any mini dramatic moment or crisis or situation, if you have trouble asserting yourself in terms of giving your advice as a professional, all of these are signs of your having grown up, not being allowed to think as much for yourself, but being highly encouraged to wrap your attentions and efforts around demanding narcissistic parents. I had been raised by two narcissistic parents, and I want to say from the get-go that I'm not calling my parents my enemies, because, you know, from the earliest episodes that I recorded in this series, and if you haven't heard the series from the first episode, I highly encourage you to go back and start with episode 1 and work your way up so you can catch up with us, all right? This is a mission of mine to help you to open your mind, open your experience to realizing more of the undercurrents and nuances of what is going on when you are today in your life interacting with narcissists, and why or how that may have come to be. My parents have gone through their own life story. Now, their life story is theirs to tell, not mine. However, I will say this, that they perfectly fit the category of narcissism in that they were dealing with narcissists raising them. When we are given role models who are not making always the best choices, now you could say that is for everybody. That applies to everyone. Yes, it does. But when the choices that your parents or other loved ones are making as you grow up are based on their feeling entitled to violate boundaries, to skew the world to revolve around them as grown-ups, that egocentric view from my psychiatry training, I know is normal for a baby. It's normal for a 1-year-old, but we grow out of that. In certain situations, though, certain people don't. People who have been, as I mentioned in your video, who have been neglected or abused. Excuse me, neglect is a form of abuse. So those who have been neglected or otherwise abused in their childhood have a couple choices. They can become the poster people for abuse and not participating in it, or in some cases where the way that they were treated was so acute and so intense and so ongoing that if they did not have proper role modeling to go alongside that so that they could see a better way of doing things, they may choose to pervade in those methods. What I'm saying here is my parents went through a lot, which would explain why they raised me in their own narcissistic ways. I love both my parents. I have received apologies for some things from both my parents. And I am here to share with you some of my experience. Being the eldest, I was pressured to be the perfect child. There were many implications that I could either be the best or I was lazy. It's all right to want to excel at things, and it's all right to get encouragement to excel. It's just that when you have a narcissist in the picture, then you are being taught that to excel is to actually be codependent. We used to talk about decades ago, codependents being those who are married to or otherwise involved with those who drink or would have a drug addiction. Research has borne through since then that codependent behaviors actually precede a person's getting into a relationship with an addictive partner. They can start at home. So, as I was growing and being groomed to focus more on the needs at times of my father or my mother, I was also being told that I needed to rely all the time on what they'd said, particularly during the normal time to do that in my younger years. The problem was that as our family dysfunction was continuing and I was growing older, those ways were persisting, so that by the time I got myself into medical school and in my clinicals, in a position where I was to give orders to patients, where I was to learn to synthesize in complex levels varying bits of incoming information, I found it particularly difficult to take a firm stance and believe in my own sovereignty, my own ability to give answers after making decisions for what was the best thing for my patient to do in their individual situation. For anyone who has gone through being raised where they are being told, no, it's not what you say that is right, it's what we say is right, no matter how it looks to you. It's when you are being told not to believe in yourself. And when I say being told, you might be told verbally, but I'm also talking about nonverbals. You might be being non-verbally told by your mother, even though she's saying to you, as I was told, that it is very important for you to take care of your partner's needs first, that your needs come last, even though my mother was verbally saying to me, it's very important for you to get your education, for you to be a free thinker, to be strong on your own 2 feet, so that you don't have to rely on someone else. You don't have to rely on your husband should things go awry. It's lovely that my mother was telling me those things verbally. However, what was so loud for me was watching the way that my father was narcissistically pulling on her to cater to him. Now, I've mentioned that both my parents are narcissists. So while my mother was serving codependently in certain ways, there were times when she was lording her narcissism over me. This can put someone who has gone through this kind of situation between a rock and a hard spot. How are we to be able to build healthier boundaries and to be stronger and not kowtow to when someone else is being manipulative, being deceptive, being intimidated in order to control us to serve them, when we are being role modeled exactly the opposite in a number of ways? Yes, there is hope. There is hope for you to change as an adult. There is hope for you to stand up to your mother with your own opinions, for you to stand in your power and not feel like you have to be the little girl that must be perfect and say yes to everything mother does. Yes, you can grow up. Yes, you can draw healthier boundaries. Yes, you can evolve a healthy relationship with healthier people. It is doable. So, how do you do these things? Well, that is a topic for the program that I am offering right now. This is a program that helps you to understand how you ended up in that adult relationship of narcissism, and how do you power through changes when the other person won't change. If you believe that this program would be informative or life-changing for you, be sure to text out to me. I am more than happy to have a complimentary consultation with you. There are many ways that I can offer assistance for you. The program is one large way. I work one-on-one with you as well. I am an empowerment mentor, particularly for professional and entrepreneurial women, those who are driven to succeed and to excel and who have accomplished quite a bit, whether they are giving themselves full credit for it or not. If you want to take control over your life and change that repeating cycle of ending up serving someone else, being prone to respond to their whims, but noticing your needs sliding into the background, your being able to take charge of your life being put on hold, reach out for a new way. My unique niche is that I am a psychiatrist and I have done family medicine. I am more interested in a holistic way to deal with these things. So you've got at your fingertips a psychiatrist, retired, ready, and available to not only use those traditional skills and tools, but to also incorporate energetic ones that you already have inside that you can tap into. These two being interlaced into each other with that intersective area of what energy were you raised in and how can you directly overcome and create new dimensions for yourself, new boundaries for yourself so that you can have a better life. Thank you very much for listening to this. We will hit on other topics. If you have identified with anything said here, please give a thumbs up on this video, share it with anyone you think might be going through something similar so that they can hear a voice coming out from the din saying, yes, it is possible, even in your older adulthood, as opposed to your youth or teens, to be able to set things more straight in your life so that you can start engaging more in the laws of abundance and attraction and begin manifesting that which you need. For more encouraging videos on this topic of narcissism, simply click and find my prior ones or subscribe right now and hit the bell so you never miss a future episode. I am Eve Spirit Speaks. Like my Facebook page to stay more in touch with me between these episodes. I am looking forward to the next episode I share with you. Namaste.